Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. It is morning time here where I am. I'm having my coffee. I also wanted to sit down and kind of share what I eat in a day. I empathize or sympathize, whatever. I think it's empathize. I empathize with whoever is working full time, trying to look after themselves, making sure that they look great, that they're healthy, they're fit, but also not neglecting any other aspect of their life, whether it would be career, family, relationships, all of that. So it took me a while to kind of get a swing of things where I get to prioritize my health, but also, not neglecting anything else. And it is a difficult one for sure. So I totally get it, where sometimes you just don't have time to eat super healthy or make a home cooked meal because you have a billion and one things on the go. I just wanted to make this video and share what kind of works for me and how I manage a billion and one responsibilities, tasks, and deadlines in a day. Also kind of have like the time to nourish my body and make sure that I'm kind of staying in somewhat good shape. So here's the deal. Let's start with breakfast. I am not a breakfast person whatsoever, but here's what I do in the mornings. I usually wake up at 7:30 a.m. Then I have a glass of water. That is my first thing that I have. If I'm feeling very bloated and yucky, those evenings, usually on a Sunday night, we have a treat meal, and on Monday I wake up feeling kind of gross. So then I would have hot water with lemon, and I feel like that kind of detoxifies my body. So that is a tip that you could take away. But afterwards, I have just some coffee with oat milk and some collagen in there. And that I kind of consider my breakfast. I plummet into work, into my meetings, whatever it is. And then around 10:30 a.m., I do kind of start to feel hungry on some days. And then on some days, I'm just perfectly fine and can carry on through lunch. But just listening to my hunger levels at around 10:30, sometimes I have days where I am starving by then. So I usually have a banana. But if I'm perfectly fine, at 11:30 is my lunch time. So during lunch, I've been having this for the past God knows how many years. I have a slice of bread that I toast, and then I add avocado, a fried egg that I season with everything bagel, paprika, salt, pepper, in case you're wondering, and then I add some red cabbage. That is so good. If you're Eastern European, you know that this is our hidden gem. So yeah, I add some red cabbage. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. And because it is fermented, I feel like it's good probiotics for the gut. But also because it is summertime, I buy lots of berries every time that we do grocery shopping. And yeah, that is kind of my dessert. I have lots of berries, and I am a pretty happy camper until around 2:30. That is when I start to get hungry again. So then I have a protein bar, and I've been loving the One protein bars. They are literally the best thing ever. I don't find them disgusting. Some protein bars I just can't tolerate. So these ones are great, and I've been having them for a couple years now as well. They're 1 gram of sugar and I think 20 or 21 grams of protein. The cookie dough flavor is my favorite one, and also the almond bliss. Great stuff. That is kind of what I have, and then depending on the day, I usually make myself another cup of coffee, or I also make myself some matcha. And the way that I make myself matcha is so easy, and this is maybe a lazy hack, but if you have the Nespresso Arancino, well, all you have to do is just add a teaspoon or a tablespoon of matcha, however much you want, and then I add a little tiny bit of agave syrup and a dash of vanilla in there, and I fill it up probably maybe 50% ratio of just hot water. And also, you could also do cold water because the Arancino heats everything up. And then on top, I also add a bit of oat milk, and the Arancino kind of blends everything perfectly. So if you have that machine at home, try it out. Really time saver. That is kind of my afternoon snack. I go back to work. I know I'm being a superstar employee, doing all my tasks, check marks everywhere. Probably around 4:30 p.m. I'm starting to feel a little sluggish from all the hard work that I've been doing. So at around 4:30, I usually have some carrots or healthy snacks that I have on the go. So currently I'm loving baby carrots. I go through phases. So baby carrots, sometimes I have an apple, or I have cherry tomatoes, and I munch on those. One of the key things that I know that works for my body is I like volume. Then like you gotta like think of like low calorie foods because I want to eat more and all of that. So having those little snack sized vegetables are perfect. At around like 6:30, that is when I make dinner. And so for dinner, this is my go-to recipe that I love. Here's what you do. I take a frying pan and I add some olive oil, some minced garlic. This is totally optional, up to you, but I think it gives you like really good flavor if you do that. Then I add whatever frozen vegetables that I have and kind of toss them, let them defrost, cook through all of that. And then afterwards I add cauliflower rice. And this is the one that I get at Costco. Literally like this giant bag full of, I think there's like 4 or 5 like little pouches of cauliflower rice in there for like $8, which is such a great deal. So I take one of those cauliflower bags, I pour them into the frying pan and I mix it through. And then for the sauce, I add a little bit of soy sauce and sesame seed oil and I mix it all together in kind of like a cup. And then I drizzle that all over the vegetables and the cauliflower rice. Add whatever seasoning that you like. I usually go light on the salt because soy sauce is pretty salty as is. So pepper, paprika, any other like spices and herbs that you like to add them in there. And then I make tofu, which again is super quick and easy. I just take extra firm tofu, kind of rinse it through after I open the package, make sure that I tap it dry, cut it into cubes. What I do for the marinade is soy sauce, a little drizzle of honey or agave syrup or maple syrup, whatever you have on hand, and then some pepper in there as well, and they kind of shake it up. And then I put it in the fridge for probably like 5 to 10 minutes. Ideally it could stay there for 30 minutes, but if you don't have the time, that's fine. Then again, frying pan, I add some olive oil or coconut oil, whatever like floats your boat type of thing, you add that in there. And then you toss in the tofu, you fry it up, probably 5 minutes total, so like 2 minutes on each side more or less, and it's ready. So the moment that like you see that the tofu is starting to get golden, that is fine. So then by the time the vegetables are done, the tofu is done, I like mix them together, plate them, and that is your dinner. So that is kind of my favorite dinner that I like to make. And for the summer, I feel like it's super light and I don't feel gross and heavy. And at the same time, I feel like I'm getting vegetables in, I'm still getting protein. And I also find that in the summertime, because it's just so hot, I don't crave too much meat. That's just how my body is. I feel like in the winter and like colder months in general, that's when my body is craving meats and that's when I have them. But in the summer, I'm all for vegetables, tofu and like fish sometimes. So that is kind of how like my body alternates. So I know everyone's different, but I just wanted to mention that. And then after dinner, I'm not a sociopath. I do have a dessert. For dessert, I always kind of have tea. And that is just like the Eastern European roots in me. I just love to drink tea. I make myself a cup of tea and then I either have some dates with peanut butter. That is like literally a healthy version of Rolos, or alternatively I'll just have some dark chocolate and call it a day. And I try to stop eating at around maybe like 7 or 8 p.m. depending on how late I have dinner, but I find that if I'm eating way later into the evening, that's when I start to put on weight. So I try to kind of limit myself from eating past 8 and kind of just giving my body the time to digest everything. Also, like in the mornings, I don't wake up feeling gross and bloated. So that is kind of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. Let me know what you thought down below. I'm always curious to hear your feedback. But yeah, I'm gonna speak to you soon in my next video. Bye.